Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So the 7th anniversary banners are just about to drop on Global Dokkan. Some of the most highly anticipated banners ever in Dokkan's history. I just wanted to quickly go over what I thought was the better banner to summon from. I think one of these two banners has a lot of highly relevant characters, and in particular characters who will be good for Red Zone. Despite how you feel about anything, the only really difficulty in this game truly is coming from Red Zone right now, especially with the major leap, I think, in quality of the characters' kits that have been designed this year. I think 2022 characters, for the most part, have been exceptional. You know, we do have, like, Raditz, who's, like, the worst character ever, like, actually. But so many of these units' kits have been very well done, and just the strength of these new 200% teams is ridiculous. So, if we're looking for characters that will specifically help you in the content that really is tough right now, it is this banner. The LR Super Saiyan 4s banner is, I think, by far better. I don't even think it's close. This is the Gods banner. I just take a glance at this and I just see a bunch of characters who either get dunked on or don't really have good setups or are not as good as their counterparts, you know, various stuff like this. I mean, let's take one good example in here. UI Goku is definitely one of the best units in the game. I mean, he's still very powerful, but he doesn't help you in, like, the hardest stage of the game, which I think is really important. That Broly fight is brutal, and Goku can't do anything in there, right? Like, that hurts him. So let's go over a bunch of these characters, right? Again, I think this is the best banner probably in the game's history right here. Now, one of the major reasons has not quite hit global yet, but it will over the next couple of weeks. These three right here, EZA, during this celebration right here for global players. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and the Int Vegito, all EZA in this celebration. The Super Saiyan 4s in particular, I think, are easily the best EZA characters in the game at the moment. Their level of power is very high. They're doing huge damage. Their links are incredible. Let me pull them up. So I've got all the characters pulled up. These two right here are just ridiculous after their EZA. And it really helps. Goku in particular shares 6 out of 7 links with one of the 3 characters you can make an argument for as best unit in the game. Right now there's 3 characters. LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the LR Gods, and LR Vegeta and Trunks. Regardless of how you feel about any one of the 3, I don't think there's another character even close to their level. The more I've used them, especially once the Vegeta and Trunks team, I've kind of been able to use, like, them in a bunch of different situations. And, you know, characters who I would put at, like, 4 and 5 overall in the game, like the LR Goku and Gohan and LR Golden Frieza, are just, they just don't feel close to, like, what LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the LR Gods do. They don't feel close at all to me. So, if you have a unit with this guy who has 6 out of 7 links, which Goku does, Vegeta has 5, right? Because Goku has Kamehameha active with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then remember, Vegeta just has Saiyan Pride right here, which does nothing for us, really. These two are ridiculous, right? And then when we talk about the Vegeta and Trunks team, these guys would both be getting their 200% along with LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so that could get very nasty. These guys just are able to dominate nearly every stage of the red zone. The LR Super Saiyan 4s are just absolutely silly. Okay, so we talked about them. Again, they're just stupidly overpowered. Namek Goku, I don't want to call myself one of his biggest haters. I feel like I just properly assess this character. He is not one of the top, 5 units in the game or 10 units in the game. If things go your way, if you get good luck with his additionals, if enemies just choose not to super attack him, this guy can be one of the strongest units in the game. This guy's damage comes to this guy much easier than many powerful characters in this game. He is able to just shoot the damage out very easily. He could struggle to get to, like, 18 key and stuff like that, depending upon the situation, but his damage is not reliant upon getting an 18 key super, right? He does really good damage with his 12 keys. This guy could be very helpful. In particular, he's very good in the stages that have very strong tech bosses. So potentially he could help you out against Janemba, who starts out with a tech phase. Bojack is another phase that this guy can be very good against, right? Bojack, one of the toughest bosses in the game, and you're really able to sort of handle him with this guy. And then also Rildo is another ridiculously hard red zone fight that Namek Goku can cook. Keep in mind that all the red zone enemies are extreme class, so Namek Goku is getting his full buffs, and then his active skill you could proc as well. LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, honestly, I feel like the 200% leader skill plus red zone meta has completely just cratered this guy. This is just like, to say it's ineffective, I feel like does not really properly describe how horrible this is. I do feel like you could probably, you could no item all the red zone stages with this guy on the team for sure. But I think one of the biggest things he has to contribute at this point is probably his revive. I think revives could potentially be a solid way to deal with Omega Shenron. But one thing about revives, you have to keep in mind, so like if you're going to revive against Omega, if Omega finishes his countdown on that turn, but kills you before he does the super attack, then he will open up the next round with his super attack. Even though he's not supposed to do that. A revive can cause that to happen. But if Omega kills you with the super attack that's going to do 1.5 million damage, and then you revive from that, that's a great way to handle him. I would say at this point, Vegeta's revive is his biggest asset. His damage is not enough to cover up for his defensive weakness. So this guy has just fallen off of a cliff, unfortunately. I feel like in hindsight, the designs for Evolution Blue Vegeta and UI Goku certainly could have been a bit better. They were really good on release. UI Goku definitely number one, but I feel like the way the game has turned, they've aged out very fast. Not as fast as these guys aged out, but the 5th and 6th anniversary LRs. I really don't think the same thing is going to happen to Gogeta and the Gods, though. Their kits seem too tight to me. I don't know. Just with the nullification, the stacking, the active skill power, the crits, the additionals, the damage reduction, the dodge that these guys have. I just feel like there's probably too much. We'll see what happens, right? But they're definitely looking good. Tech Sin is one of the best units in the game, one of the best ban units in the game. You just don't really have a good spot to use him on, but of course he's very good as well. SCR Vegito, this unit, cannot take a hit whatsoever. This is an absolute glass cannon. If you're going to use like a Whis item with this character though, I think this Vegito can still be one of the highest damage dealers in the game. Potentially still even number one, right? Like this guy getting 10 counters, I don't know if there's another character that could do more damage in a turn than this guy, like double supering and getting 10 counters. I don't think so. This guy hits so hard. Combined with Whis items, you could be set up very nicely. His heal is insane. And then, this Scouter is like the strongest ability in the game, only surpassed by Dodge. It's like Dodge is 1 and the Scouter's like 2 or something like that. Like Scouter's crazy. That's what can really... This guy is going to be very valuable for a while, just off of this and this. Those two are very, very crazy. This guy's really good. He can be super effective in these red zone fights, with the HP regen once you are able to transform. Vegito himself is a very powerful character too once you transform. I have found I'm very unimpressed by the base Goku and Vegeta, both this one and this one right here. I think that they're both fairly ineffective. When talking about the Gods banner, though... okay, I've got it right here. When talking about the Gods banner, though, it's like most of these are just weaker than the counterparts on the other banner, right? The 5th anniversary fusions are literal zeros at this point in actual tough content. And Gogeta was not given enough to match what Int Vegito has, so it's just very, very sad. GT Goku, I'm not as high on this guy. His defense definitely has fallen off quite a bit. But in fairness to this guy, so is this Vegeta's. Both of their defense, last year, it's like Vegito is like a defensive wall. Now, not so much. We're now over a year since these guys have come out. So not really too surprising. But the overwhelming power of the GT Hero team and LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta makes these two still relevant. and I would say much more relevant than their counterparts on the Gods banner. These two, no, right? Like, Majin Vegeta, in theory, could be pretty good, right? If you're able to get his 6 orbs to get his guard. But the thing about guard that I feel like a lot of people don't understand at this point, guard is no longer enough, right? Go use Int Janemba and tell me how guard does, right? You need guard, and then you need like 250k plus defense, right? Like you need like both. It's like you could have a perfect situation where Int Majin Vegeta's in slot 1, he gets his 6 orbs, then Tech Majin Vegeta in slot 2, he gets his 6 orbs, and you're looking good, but I don't think that's very common. This Super Saiyan 3 Goku I've never really been that big of a fan of anyway. Maybe he could help you against like Rildo or Bojack, right? I think gearing the type of characters you should bring towards the final phase of these bosses is often smart. So like, if I'm going to use this guy, I would think of using him against Bojack or Rildo, right? So there's that. What else do we have here? We looked at him. The Gods, of course, same thing with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Very minute differences between them. They're both, the actual lords of the game at the moment. This Broly, I'm very unimpressed by. He does nothing special, nothing spectacular, nothing amazing. He's just okay. And that really, at an anniversary unit, he's just okay. Not a fan. Full Power Frieza is still very good, but he doesn't have a great setup right now. He did get a really good linking partner in LR Golden Frieza, but that doesn't count the best link that they had, that the best villain link in the game, Big Bad Bosses, unfortunately. I do think if this guy had a great 200% leader unit for him, the way Namek Goku does, Namek Goku works great with Vegeta and Trunks. If Frieza had that level, Frieza's better than Namek Goku, right? For sure. I think there's no question about that. UI Goku, of course, is still an awesome unit. You can easily use him to terrorize the entire red zone outside of 2 fights, Broly and Android 13, which both cancel dodge. He's definitely fallen off quite a bit, but still a tremendously powerful unit. He's a little bit tankier than people give him credit for, but you're not eating super attacks with this guy, right? If the super attack surpasses his dodge, you're done. But this guy, still effective, right? Evolution Blue Vegeta is borderline unrunnable. This guy could still be very good, right? Boo Tanks, I think could still be effective on a 200% team, but he stacks up very slow, and he doesn't have Big Bad Bosses until you transform, and then once you transform, you can't even stack anymore. He's good, but, his time has passed. There are certainly better LRs at this point, and it'll be interesting to see what happens once he gets a 200% lead. Like him, Janemba, Kid Buu, it'll be interesting to see, right? And then I am not even going to talk about these guys. I'm sorry. They're just, they're literal zeros at this point, right? Like if they don't get touched, they could do some damage, but that's it. They're not, maybe if you're fighting, again, not Broly or Android 13, and you're using them with their high chance to dodge, and then you want to take advantage of their active skill or something, maybe. But they're pretty much just zeros. So it's like, when you compare these two banners head-to-head, I mean, I would say I like Frieza and UI Goku better than Namek Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, but Namek Goku, I think, is probably in a much better spot right now on the Vegeta and Trunks team than Frieza is. Frieza has Ginyu's team, which is really good, but are you really going to run Frieza and Ginyu's team? I probably wouldn't, right? Like, I don't think so. If I'm trying to seriously win, Frieza's going to bring down the Ginyu team, right? Because he doesn't work with them at all. So that's something to keep in mind. And it's just like, you just look like, it's once you start getting to the end of this banner, like, these guys are not helping anyone. These guys are not helping anyone. This unit can, but this unit is just way worse than the Int Vegito. And then it's like, they're like gods. Like, this is like the best, like, this is like unit 6 and 7. This is like the best 6th and 7th unit on a banner, like, nearly ever. Outside of maybe, like, Global's Christmas UI Goku banner or something like that. Like, dude, this is insane. And then this guy, like, this is the last unit on the banner. He's still, like, solid. So, definitely, if you have to pick one, the Super Saiyan 4 banner is the one to go to. I do think LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is slightly better than the Gods, but it's basically a wash. They're so similar. Tech Sin is definitely better than Broly, but I mean, neither really have a good setup for them right now. So let me know what you guys think. Again, the Gods banner, I would say, is definitely better. I do not hesitate for even a second to say that. I look at this and say this is probably the best banner ever. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys decide. Thanks for watching. Good luck tonight, and I'll catch you guys next time.